Servustok, ça veut dire bonjour en hongrois. Et oui, nous sommes dans la magnifique capitale de Budapest et ici c'est le printemps comme vous pouvez le voir. Et pour en profiter, on va rester dehors et on va rencontrer Andrea qui organise des tours féministes dans sa ville pour nous parler un peu de l'implication des femmes à travers l'histoire de la ville de Budapest.
My name is Andrea Peto. I'm teaching at Central European University Department of Gender Studies, where I have been teaching courses related to women and politics, qualitative methods, also related to Holocaust and memory, and especially memory studies. All started in Novi Sad in Serbia, when I was invited to launch a book. And the Women's Studies Center in Novi Sad is doing a tour on women of Novi Sad. And they showed me a beautiful map of Novi Sad where the different women's organizations were located and where the important women were born, and they are organizing this walking tour. And this was in early 2000, and I thought, maybe I should do something like this in Budapest. And then I started to look for important women and important sites like theaters which were founded by women, or restaurants which were important and run by women. And that was the impetus, that was the beginning how I started this tour. And since I looked at this map, and it turned out that all these places are so scattered, so a walking tour is not an option. This is not like in Novi Sad. So that's why we are renting a bus, and this bus is running on the same track as all these traditional tourist buses. And but I'm explaining the sites which are actually not there, which are not visible. So it's a very postmodern tour. There are several things which are not there. One, there are very few plaques which would remember that there are important women there. There are several statues which had been removed, women's statues. Street names. There were two waves of renaming the streets in Hungary after 1945. The last one happened like 3 years ago. This was the last wave of moving the different street names related to the progressive leftist movement. And as you might know, the progressive leftist movement had got lots of women, and these street names are just disappearing. This is another reason why we have to do this tour, because not only those signs which were disappearing from the city, like plaques, statues, street names, but also it actually shows the situation of women in Hungary now that in the past 25 years nobody actually invested any energy to restore that particular statue. I'm doing this tour for the CEU students who are coming from all over the world, and they find themselves in Budapest and they don't know anything about this city, so that's a very good introduction to see the feminist history of Budapest. And I'm also doing this tour for the Women's Day and for the Mother's Day. And the advertisement is instead of flowers, buy a piece of history. Contributed to the development of this city enormously. So not only because there were women architects or owners of theaters, those who were running salons, and their contribution to this wonderful multi-ethnic city is actually very important to be remembered, because if they are forgotten, then a part of history is being forgotten. And especially important for women who actually can look at these women as their foremothers, as somebody who actually proved that this is possible to achieve something in public life. And in the present conservative Europe, what is actually very important to show that individual achievements can actually fight against structural discrimination.